Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the biggest financial revolution of our time, Bitcoin. It started as an experiment, a nerdy concept back in 2009, and now it's worth around $80,000 per coin, with major institutions, governments, and everyday people jumping on board. In this video, we'll cover how Bitcoin came to be, why it was created, its future use cases, and why experts predict it will keep skyrocketing in value. Plus, stick around until the end of the video and we'll break down price predictions for the next decade and how institutional investors are changing the game. So, why Bitcoin? Let's find out. All right, let's rewind to 2008. The world was chaos. Banks were failing left and right, people were losing their homes, and governments were bailing out the same institutions that caused the mess. Enter Satoshi Nakamoto, a mysterious figure or group who had had enough of the broken financial system. Satoshi introduced Bitcoin, a currency that didn't rely on banks or governments or middlemen. Instead, it was a peer-to-peer money powered by blockchain technology, allowing anyone, anywhere to send and receive payments instantly. No middleman, no permission needed. So, before we dive deeper, let's talk about one of the most legendary moments in Bitcoin history. It was called Bitcoin Pizza Day. Back in May of 2010, a guy made the first ever real-world Bitcoin transaction by buying 2 large pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. At that time, Bitcoin was worth just fractions of pennies, so it seemed like a great deal. Fast forward to today, and those 10,000 Bitcoin are worth around $800 million. That had to be one of the best pizzas he ever had. This story shows just how much Bitcoin's value has exploded over time. So, you want to send some Bitcoin? It's easier than wiring money at a bank. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet. Think of it like a digital bank account. You type in the recipient's wallet address, enter the amount, hit send, and boom, it's on its way. Unlike banks that take days to process transactions, Bitcoin settles payments in minutes, and with fees way lower than wire transfers or credit card fees. It's a no-brainer. Now let's talk about why Bitcoin is shaking up the financial world. Right now, the average credit card transaction fee is 2.5 to 3%. International wire transfers, $30 to $50 per transaction or more. Bitcoin eliminates all of that. Imagine a world where businesses don't have to pay those ridiculous fees. In fact, it's already starting to happen. Companies that are accepting Bitcoin are saving thousands, and individuals in developing countries are using Bitcoin instead of getting ripped off by money transfer services that charge insane fees. So let's get real. Fiat money, the dollar, the euro, yen, it loses value over time because governments print more of it. Since 2020 alone, the US has printed over 40% of all the dollars ever created. That's why your grocery and rent keeps getting more expensive. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is capped at 21 million coins. No one, no government, no CEO, no central bank can create more. That's why people call it digital gold. You need proof? Since 2010, with all of the money printing, the US dollar has lost over 30% of its purchasing power due to inflation. Meanwhile, Bitcoin has gained massively in value, going from fractions of a penny to around $80,000. Let that sink in. Here's the big news. President Trump has officially added Bitcoin to the US strategic reserves, making the US the first major economy to do so. El Salvador led the way by making Bitcoin legal tender, and countries like Switzerland and the UAE are stocking up too. Even Texas and Wyoming are integrating Bitcoin into their state financial systems. The more that government and institutions adopt Bitcoin, the scarcer and more valuable it becomes. I bet now you want to talk about numbers. Since its launch in 2009, Bitcoin has outperformed every major asset on the planet. Gold, up around 600% in the last 20 years. S&P 500, up about 250% in the past decade. Bitcoin, up over 70 million %, since its first recorded price. If you had bought a Bitcoin for $100 in 2010, it would be worth over $7 billion today. Crazy, right? So where do we go from here? Analysts predict that with continued adoption, Bitcoin could hit $120,000 within the next year. Some are calling for $250,000 by 2028 and even $500,000 by 2030. If Bitcoin follows past halving cycles, a $1 million price tag by the mid-2030s isn't out of the question. Supply is shrinking, demand is skyrocketing, and institutions are pouring in. The writing's on the wall. The numbers look good, but with any potential financial or investment decision, remember to always do your own research and stay informed. There are thousands upon thousands of social media influencers out there claiming they can predict the future or trying to get you to chase the next shiny coin. Proceed with caution. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of our session on Bitcoin. I appreciate all of you for checking us out at One Digiverse. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insights on cryptocurrencies and the evolving financial landscape. Thanks for watching.